The identity box is one of my favorite activities to do with students of all ages, but it's particularly interesting with older students because they so rarely have a chance to engage in creative expression with curriculum. And I've also had great success with 5-year-olds all the way up to university students, so I think that you'll really appreciate this activity. Now I know it's not always easy to carve out time for projects like this, but the payoff in bringing your class together as a community is astounding in terms of engagement and motivation for this and all other classwork. This project is a creative way to display how you see yourself versus how you feel others see you, and then discuss what feelings come up around that. It's also a wonderful way for less vocal students to access diversity, equity, and inclusion content and have private time to process and think about various anti-bias topics independently before doing so with others. It just takes the pressure off. I've seen so many identity boxes of my shyer students that completely blew me away. So much was going on inside their inner worlds that I wouldn't have been able to see without this opportunity. But I'm jumping ahead of myself, so let's back up. Let me explain. The identity box begins with each student finding a box of some kind from inside their home, or perhaps one being discarded by a local store in their neighborhood. But ideally you want a shoebox because anything larger than that is a little harder to navigate with all the other boxes in the classroom. Now, what the student includes on the outside of the box will represent how they feel others see them, and what they include on the inside of the box will represent how they see themselves. And students can use a variety of materials to decorate their box to reflect how they feel. And that includes, but is not limited to, pictures, words, special objects, magazine cutouts, newspaper clippings, drawings, words they write, quotes they find, poems, printed Google images, and so much more. They will use the lens of the diversity, equity, and inclusion work that you've done with them thus far to show a clear reflection of themselves and how others perceive them. It's meant to be a creative collage-like project, so encourage them to have fun with it. Okay, now let's take a look at the parameters of the project. Once they've finished, they will present the box to the class either in person or online and describe how the process felt, as well as how they feel about their finished product. It's important to note that the process is just as important as the product, if not more important here. You see, the process is where we get the deep reflection and critical analysis that lies in how students feel about themselves and how they think others perceive them based on real experiences that they've had. So be sure to carefully underline and unpack this idea of the outside versus the inside differences as a class or a small group. Here are some guiding questions for students to think about for the outside of the box before they get started. How do you feel people see you? What are their assumptions? What are their feelings or attitudes toward you? What biases or prejudices do you feel others hold about you? What expectations do you think others have of you? Now, here are some guiding questions for the student to think about for the inside of the box. How do you see yourself? Racially, culturally, ethnically, confidence-wise, all of it. How do you see yourself? What is important to you? What are the feelings, beliefs, or attitudes that you have about yourself? What are the biases or prejudices do you hold? Blind spot alert. What are your weaknesses that you're working on? What are your strengths? What expectations do you have of yourself in terms of success? what activities do you like to do? We hope that this activity leads to rich discussions with your class and amongst your students and families. But as a facilitator of these dialogues, keep in mind that some topics can come up here. You want to be prepared. You could have microaggressions that surface, blind spots, prejudice, racism, xenophobia, misconceptions, and more. So be prepared for opportunities to have the courageous conversations and let students process this out loud. Students are learning as they go, just like teachers. And unexpected emotions or topics that could surface could trigger them or others. And that's okay. Remember, you're creating a safe space for them to voice these ideas and feel supported. So remember to lend your encouragement as needed, to courageously share and discuss the challenging issues that come up with respectful honesty instead of shying away from them. These conversations can be lengthy as well because students feel empowered to discuss freely, and so you may need to remind your students of the main focus of the project and reel them back in if things get too off topic from time to time. But all in all, remember that the conversations that happen are often the conversations that need to happen with this project. So good luck.